Lone Star Land, with boots on my feet and dreams in my hand. A little sassy but a whole lot of grace. You'll see that fire when you look in my face. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. Barbecue smoke, Friday night lights, cheering for the Astros under Texas skies. A little bit stubborn, a whole lot of charm. This big old heart will keep you warm. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. Barbecue smoke, Friday night lights, cheering for the Astros under Texas skies. A little bit stubborn, a whole lot of charm. This big old heart will keep you warm. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. From the blue bonnet fields to the city streets, every step I take feels like home to me. With a little sass and a lot of pride, this Texas girl's got nothing to hide. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. Gummy shoe prints, laid them down the street. Chocolate wrappers hiding secrets sweet. They don't miss a beat, they've got a knack. With licorice ropes pulling answers back. Twist the wrapper to reveal the truth. A sticky web spun by a candy scoop. No sour lies can escape the grip. These lollipops always crack the whip.
Well, hello, my friends. How are y'all doing? Hey, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate y'all. I missed y'all this weekend, but my granddaughter had a softball tournament. And then my best friend came to town. And so I went to hang out with her Saturday after the ball game, and we sat and talked till 2:30 in the morning. Got back up Sunday morning, went back to the ballpark. She came with her little granddaughter, and we got to watch my granddaughter play some ball. Made it to the championship and lost by 1 point. That is 2 times in a row they've done that, but they had fun. And that's all that counted. So super proud of them. And then she headed back to home. And when I got home, I laid down on the bed just to stretch out for a minute. And guys, I fell asleep and woke up at 10:30 last night. So I apologize for not going live yesterday. And then tonight, I had just set my live, got it all ready to go. And my phone rings and I answer it. It's my grandson. Lolly, my new team, we're going to play a game tonight. Will you come watch me? So, of course, little man asks, he gets. And so I just got back from another ball game. But I appreciate you all being here and coming back and me changing the time and all that. Thank y'all so much. Hello, Daisy Dukes. Oh no, it looks like the name change has made it to our channel, y'all. Hello, Lori in Brianna's world. Oh, hello, Fran Baxter. Hey, TJ. Miss Kathy. Miss Rhonda. So good to have y'all. Let's see who else we got up in here. Read the bell. Hello to you, beautiful. Hope you're doing good. And Randa, how are you? Let's see who else we got in here. Narita, good to have you. Hey, Darlene, good to have you with us. Let's see. Brandy and Indy, always good to have you with us, darling. Smack Talker, hello to you. Catfish, hello. Holly and Bo. Hey, Pink Warrior. Thank you all for being here. What a good group we got tonight. Hey, Tina girl, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, everybody. So, I was completely like disconnected from my phone other than, recording at bats and some pitching this weekend. And today I started looking and I'm like, what in the world is going on with the Kohberger case, y'all? So, okay, so is there a way to change the name? Hey, Tim. I hate the way they got it all set up here. Can you change your name back? I wish there was I wonder what they're doing. What's the purpose? Huh. Okay. Well, if y'all figure out how to do it, let everybody in chat know so that if they want to do it, they can. But welcome to everybody. We're going to talk a little Kohberger today in the Idaho 4 case. I am going to leave it up to you guys as to whether you want to look at the crime scene photos. There is no bodies that are seen. It's all completely blurred out 100%. But go to your handler and you can put in the name you want. Is that on your homepage? Is where you do that? It's going to be the new norm. Okay. Well, maybe they're trying to cut down on all these stupid fake accounts that are being created. It's crazy. Ah, okay, Brandy. Good to know. So y'all can change it back if you want to. You go to your settings. Okay. All righty. Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Photos tell a story for sure. Yes. The photos, guys, I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I looked at them, I was really surprised because I was expecting it to be so much worse. And I know that's sad to say, but I don't know. From all the descriptions and the talk and the things that have been said, I was just expecting a whole lot more. But at the end of the day, it's bad enough. But if y'all would like to, we will look at those pictures. I want to listen we're going to start out here with Nancy Grace today, and I haven't put her description in yet, but I will. And let me change my banner so we got a copyright up here because we are going to use this to learn some stuff. We are going to educate ourselves. We are going to comment on it and use it for our purposes only. So there we go. Let me put a little tiny music in. Just a little music. That way we're all covered every which way we can go. And then what we're going to do is Nancy Grace is talking about how Kohberger is so stressed out. His life in solitaire is not so great. Excuse me. But guys, he's wanting to do an appeal. Now there's lots of talk happening saying that he is not guilty. I'm hearing also that there may have been others involved with him doing this. Hey, Kathy Freeman. Okay, we'll look at that. We'll go over those for sure. Hey, just my girls. As long as someone else does not have that name, you have to spell it maybe differently or something. Okay, good deal. Hey, there's been people that have hijacked someone's name completely. Crazy, crazy. But okay, so let's listen to Nancy Grace. I love Nancy. She's so funny, and she puts on a great display of sarcasm in her whole appearance. It just cracks me up. So here we go. Let's listen to this. Let's make it bigger. Here we go.
Breaking news tonight, Brian Kohberger stressed behind bars. Really? Inmates constantly harassing Kohberger through the air vents. Boo-hoo. As we learn who Kohberger and his fleet of attorneys plan to blame for the murders at trial. This, as we learn, the feds could seek the death penalty even now. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
Chilling crime scene photos released in the Brian Kohberger case detailing.
Okay, guys, I need to hold on, put up a trigger warning banner as well. This right here does show handprints outside. Can y'all hear me okay? This does show the handprints outside the window, but this is going to probably show some of the pictures here. So just kind of prepare yourselves. All righty, here we go. Oh, hold on. I went to the wrong one. Here we go.
The tragic murders of the 4 University of Idaho students killed in the attack.
The irony that now we are learning about the true brutality of these 4 murders after the deal is done. This, as we are learning, Brian Kohberger is stressed behind bars. Inmates constantly harassing him through the air vents and more. But before I get to those facts, I want to go straight out to renowned psychoanalyst Dr. Bethany Marshall, joining us out of Beverly Hills. Author of Deal Breaker. You can see her now on Peacock, and you can find her at drbethanymarshall.com. Dr. Bethany Marshall, I'm just a trial lawyer. You're the shrink. This is completely bass-ackwards. He's stressed behind bars, and he's whining because inmates are whispering to him and yelling at him through the air vents. So, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what a narcissist is when the whole world revolves around me, but I think that would be him.
A sociopath is a narcissist on steroids. It is the same disorder, Nancy. It's a spectrum disorder. Just like narcissists lack empathy, sociopaths have no feeling for other human beings or even for them.
Okay, I'm going to stop here just for 1 second. Who knew that his eyes were so blue? I didn't. Every time I see him, his eyes look so dark, almost black, brown. I was very surprised when I saw this picture. And by the way, I got to stop occasionally, so we'll just make comments and go.
For themselves, Nancy. So this whole idea that he's stressed behind bars would mean only one of two things. One is that he's just manipulating the judge. That's it, because I don't think he feels much at all. The other is that maybe he's getting some kind of pleasure from all the attention he's getting and he just wants to talk about. The other is that he probably has not received any consequences for his actions thus far in life. So the fact that he's actually having consequences.
This is why I stopped shopping on Amazon, and you
hang on, guys. We got to
should
get
too.
through this.
Don't spend another dime on Amazon until
Okay.
Is surprising to him. And so he has to talk about it.
You know, I'm learning so much. It's all pouring out now that the deal is done. I'll tell you who is probably stressed, which I'm going to get to in just a moment with Susan Hendricks and Dave Mack. The people that Brian Kohberger was planning to blame at trial, forget about him being not guilty, according to him, of course, which is a lie. But he was actually going to compound by blaming somebody else for the murders, knowing full well he's guilty. And I don't mean just hey, there was another burglary down the street the week before. No, he was actually going to blame a specific friend of the victims. And that friend of the victims would have those allegations hanging over his head the rest of his life, even though Kohberger knew he was guilty. That takes a certain mindset. You're not just claiming I'm guilty, don't send me to the death penalty. You're actually blaming another person. And Philip Dubé, without going to DEFCON 4 in the law, guys, Dubé, veteran trial lawyer, joining us out of the LA jurisdiction, Dubé, for a defendant to blame a third person. It's the SOD defense, SOD, some other dude did it. You can't just say, hey, crime statistics are up in this neighborhood with burglaries, so it's one of them. To bring in some other dude did it, you have to have an actual dude. You have to have, it can't be an amorphous, maybe this person did it, maybe you have to have somebody you're going to blame under the law. That's the law in every jurisdiction. So Kohberger's defense had actually picked out somebody to blame.
Who's surprised? Does anybody in chat at this moment feel, oh my gosh, can't believe that? I knew there had to be some twist to things, because the type of person that Brian Kohberger is, that we know him to be, I didn't see him just giving in so easily. So is this part of his appeal that he's going to have? And remind y'all now, once he does his appeal and sets that all into motion, the death penalty is back on the table. And he doesn't get a plea deal. An appeal will take away everything that happened in court that we all sat and watched happen. All of the victim impact statements, all of his yes answers, it's all going to be wiped out. That man is going to cause a court hearing to happen with this appeal?
It's not enough. You have to show more than means, motive, and opportunity. You have to show that there is corroborating evidence linking that alternate perpetrator, if you will, to the crime itself. And that's why you have a judge who steps in and says, look, if you can't link the two, then you're really asking a jury to find unreasonable doubt as to who the real perpetrator is. And the judge will step in and shut
You know what?
it down.
I'm taking that to mean that you're trying to say, yes, the defendant must point to a specific person. And in this case, the defense had created a lot of links between that person and the victims, knowing full well and ultimately pleading guilty to the murders. I mean, Dr. Bethany Marshall, back to me, Brian Kohberger, who is stressed behind bars. He actually had a scapegoat that he was willing to take down for that person forever to have that dark cloud over them. Hey, maybe he did it. For the rest of his life, for the rest of his family's lives, so Kohberger could walk free. That's a whole nother layer of evil right there. Not just I didn't do it, believe me, jury, but he did it. Blame him. That's pretty bold. Wouldn't you say,
Nancy?
Bethany?
Oh, yeah. Nancy, you referenced narcissism earlier. The primary feature, again, is lack of empathy towards others. The second feature of malignant narcissism is destructiveness. People who are malignant narcissists want to take everybody down around them. The destruction could be committing homicide, or for anybody who's married to a malignant narcissist, it could be destroying your friends, isolating you from other people, total lack of remorse over what happens to you. And then when you get the sociopath on steroids, you have the addition of cruelty, which is not just dragging other people in because you don't care about them, but you enjoy seeing other people sweat, cry, bleed, whatever it is, you get pleasure from that.
Straight out to Dave Mack, Crime Stories investigator.
That face, man. I want to reach in there and poke his eyeballs out. Hello to everybody coming in. Thank y'all for being with us. We are listening to Nancy Grace. It seems that Mr. K here, Special K, has not been so cozy in his new dwellings. Yes, Tina girl, others fit that bill just as well, don't they? Yes. But what that lady, that psychiatrist lady, all the words she used fits him so perfectly. He does look creepy. Can you imagine if this was something sort of what he had on that night, and that was the face that Dylan saw as she peeked through the door? My goodness. This guy, he seriously has issues, folks.
Get a reporter. Who exactly was Brian Kohberger planning to blame for 4 vicious murders? This is a whole nother layer of evil. As just now, after the deal is already done, signed, sealed, and delivered on that guilty plea to escape the death penalty, now we're learning about the brutal nature of the crimes, more and more details of him lying in wait, walking around the murder scene, even finding and tracing his trail footsteps in the snow Kohberger left behind. But we're learning his defense. His defense was to blame an innocent person. Dave Mack, who did Kohberger plan to blame?
Of the 4 people he planned to blame, one of them was Kaylee Gonzalez's ex-boyfriend, known as JD, who she shared the dog Murphy with. They actually had that as their first child. And that's who he planned to put all of this on.
Dave Mack, did I hear you say that there were 4 people he planned to blame?
He did. And Nancy, the three of the four, by the way, we don't have the names of any of them, but three of the four had an acquaintance or some type of social or other media involvement with one of the roommates. But it came out that Kayla Gonzalez had an ex-boyfriend who she actually tried to contact that morning. If you remember, there were several phone calls that Kaylee and Maddie made to the ex-boyfriend. And it was, they had a good relationship, even though they were broken up. Their families actually fully expected them to get back together. They were just going through a down phase. But they did share the dog, Murphy. That was a mutually owned pet. And that's what they were communicating about. So Kohberger planned, his defense team was to roll this ex-boyfriend under the bus and blame him for everything.
Everyone's afraid of going to the dentist. After all, getting your smile fixed could be painful and expensive. However,
so wow, he was going to blame Kaylee's boyfriend. What a douchebag. I don't know if I can say that on here, but man. Oh my gosh. That is horrible. To blame someone that was so involved with them and friends with them and then to walk away. Oh, man. Just to walk away and say, oh, no, it was him. They were so pretty. They were beautiful girls. Okay, here we go. Let's listen to some more of Miss Nancy Grace's satire.
Think about it. What if you could delay your next 2 mortgage payments? It's not just a dream. That would equal money. Interested? Go to American Financing now. To feel overwhelmed, and many people are now relying on help you use your home mortgage. Add it up. That's 6 American Finance 6. Guys, earlier you heard Dubé, and he was correct, where the defense creates links between the phantom perpetrator and the crime. And in this case, and correct me if I'm wrong, Susan Hendricks joining us and Dave Mack, there were 4 individuals Kohberger planned to blame for the murders. One,
No, he did not unalive the dog. The dog was locked up actually in Maddie's room. Maddie was the one that was, or Kaylee was, it was Kaylee's room. And they were over into Maddie's room, I think is the way it was. But there is a picture that I'm going to show y'all in just a little bit. And you will see the dog. And it will break your heart.
One, the ex-boyfriend, and the other, speaking of those links that Dubé brought up, the judge even noticed that 3 of the friends lived within walking distance of the King Road scene, right? So it's placing them in the scene. They were friends, and they had likely been in the home, and their fingerprints or their DNA would be in the home. Clearly, the ex-boyfriend fingerprints or DNA would be in the home. The point is, those links between some other dude and the murders could easily be demonstrated by fingerprints and DNA. 3 living within walking distance, 1 having had a romantic relationship with one of the victims. Those would be the links that Kohberger would capitalize upon to blame somebody else. And what I'm saying, Susan Hendricks with us now, investigative reporter and author of an incredible book, Down the Hill, My Descent into the Double Murder in Delphi. Susan, blaming somebody else and naming them by name to have that forever hanging over their head, that's not why he's stressed behind bars, that he was going to stab somebody else in the back. He's stressed behind bars because the inmates are whispering to him through the vents, calling him a killer, and he's whining about it. Seriously?
Absolutely. It's all about Brian Kohberger, and it always has been. And sadly, it doesn't surprise me, the finger pointing, Nancy. I saw it in Delphi with the Odinist theory, and names were named. Meanwhile, the judge said, hey, there's no connection. You can't use the third-party defense. But he didn't care. And bringing up Kaylee's ex, they were on and off, high school sweethearts, Jack, several times that night. Also, Maddie tried to call him, and he was cleared by police, and he just disappeared because he was being harassed, and there was finger pointing. This is before Kohberger was arrested. But it doesn't surprise me at all that Kohberger only cares about himself and being stressed because of what he's going through, not the lives he destroyed.
I mean, Dr. Bethany Marshall, don't you know that Brian Kohberger and his defense team were just salivating, drooling when they learned the ex-boyfriend was scheduled to come in and give fingerprints at the Moscow police station? They're like, hey, jackpot, let's blame him, regardless of what it would do to the ex-boyfriend and the 3 other friends they planned to blame, what it would do to their lives. That meant nothing to them.
It was like, oh, happy day for them. It meant absolutely nothing that these kids, and these were college kids, their reputations would be ruined for the rest of their life. But you know what it also shows, Nancy, is the level of methodical planning that Kohberger engaged in. His whole life was organized around eventually committing this crime, from being a criminology student to being a security guard, to getting girls' numbers at bars, to trying to be, more outward and outgoing than he really was. He thought about this for years, Nancy. So I wouldn't be surprised if learning who was living on that block and who the girls were dating and the ins and outs of their lives were also a part of the sick, twisted fantasy life that he engaged in. Probably, this is so sick, I hate to even say it, but even imagining the sex lives of these girls with their boyfriends and the nature of the interactions, and maybe even in a cruel, sadistic way, wanting to throw those boys under the bus because they got the girl, not him.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. You just need a concept and a way to record it.
Okay, you know what? Very often when trying cases, I would ask a witness to repeat something that was particularly probative or impactful. I need to hear what you just said, because we have uncovered a friend of Kohberger's that said Kohberger incessantly talked about wanting a girlfriend. I think he was an incel, involuntary celibate. That's neither here nor there at this juncture, but it fits in with what you just said. Okay, very slowly, say that again, because it just hit me. As he was digging up and trying to create who they're going to blame, the sexual enjoyment he may have had about thinking of the friend. What were you saying?
He wasn't just a sadist, Nancy. He was a voyeur. And incels hate women because they can't get them. And he had a long history of not being able to get a girlfriend or to have a satisfactory relationship. So part of the preparation for the crime was a lurid fascination with the sex lives of these girls. And part of that was identifying their boyfriends, men who may have lived on the block, spying on them, being incredibly, seethingly envious and jealous of those relationships, wanting to destroy them, and wanting to throw these young men under the bus to get them out of the way as sexual rivals.
Dave Mack joining us. Dave Mack, it went a long way. It went a good distance as far as defenses go.
Okay, we got to pause it here for a little bit. Yeah, he is pretty sick when he goes on one date with a girl and sends her a text saying, "You have good birthing hips." Tells you just what kind of person he really is. Absolutely disgusting, if you ask me. Holly, look at you. Thank you so much, Holly. Let me get over her. Look at Holly. You're so sweet. Love you, Holly. Thank you so much. Let's get you a little happy dance. Thank you, Holly, so much for that. I appreciate you and your support always. Love you, girl. I do not think he's in the same prison as Stephen Stearns, but I have heard he is in the same prison as Chad Daybell, Laurie Vallow's husband. So, isn't that just lovely? But he is in solitary confinement where he is 23 hours locked up, and he is allowed 1 hour out and baths, a shower only every other day. And for a germaphobe, I imagine that is driving him crazy. So, I don't know if he's in the same prison as BT. All I've heard is that he was in the place where Chad Daybell's at. That's the only one I've heard that was in there. But we'll have to look into it. So, okay, here we go.
Trying to frame the other 4 individuals. Tell me about it. What were they digging up in order to blame the other people?
The defense claimed that 3 of the 4 suspects were within walking distance of the King Road house. So they had, an opportunity to be right there when they needed to be. So that was one of the big things that they had about these possible alternate suspects.
Philip Dubé, have you ever had a twin case? And what I mean by that is when you're defendant, it's every prosecutor's worst nightmare, and it's every defense attorney's favorite dream when the perp actually has.
I thought I needed more hours in the day.
Sorry, guys.
But I just needed these AI tools. Disappear for 1 month to become the most.
A twin. And the DNA is extremely similar. I actually had a murder case where there was a twin. Yeah. So the point is, the defendant will do anything.
I tell you, I think he's going to pull all the stops as much as he possibly can. Looky here, Reality. Reality Wins has been a member for 7 months. She says, "Hi, beautiful people. I still am on the fence." I tell you, I am as well. There's a lot of people. Thank you, Reality, for being with us for 7 months. We love having you so much. We love you. But there are a lot of people that are iffy about everything. Bobby, thank you so much for that super sticker. Look at you being sweet. Thank you so much. But yeah, thank you, Bobby. Appreciate you. A lot of people are really contemplating, did he do this alone? Did he do this with other people? There's even talk about Kaylee is not the one that was alive that night, that it was one of the other girls that we have not seen or heard from. And yeah, lots of questions. My only thing, and I'm just being straight up with you on how I feel about it all, he didn't seem to have a lot of friends to rely on. So if he was part of it, how did he get other people to do this horrible thing when he didn't have many friends to start with? That's kind of where I'm at. Now, as far as cleaning up and all the other things or whatever, I do think his father knew a little more than he was letting on, is just a guess of mine. But I don't know, guys. I do know this. Just after, like hours after the whole thing was found, the roommates figured it out, called 911, all that. He started making tons and tons and tons of phone calls to his mother, his father, and his sister. And that's how it's done in his phone. Mother is her contact, father for his contact, and sister. It's kind of weird though. He has another sister. He has two, but he only has sister listed with one number. But it was as if he would call one. If one didn't answer, he called the other. It was repeat. He was calling all the time. And then that kind of leveled off. He was there in Pennsylvania with his family. And just hours before they came in and arrested him, he started making those calls constantly again to those same three. Yes, I do think so. You know, Neuro, he was on a high after his success. I really believe that. Okay, I'm going to stop Nancy Grace here. We've heard a good bit of, you know, her show and what she's got going. Y'all definitely go watch the whole entire thing. There's another one that we're going to watch real quick. This is from Law and Crime. This will show some of the crime scene photos, and they will talk a little bit. It's a really good, it's only like 15 minutes or so, but we're going to listen to it. And when we're through with this, I have those photos. We're going to go through them one at a time. And we'll look at those. But let's go here to Law and Crime here. All right, here we go. Oh, let me make it bigger. And this is inside their kitchen here.
Scene photos are released, and that full security video from the house next door shows the eerie moments leading up to the murders of 4 University of Idaho college students. I go through all of it.
Guys, when it comes to the video where you hear the dog barking, you can hear faintly someone whimpering. It's very eerie. And shortly after, on this video of this neighbor who's directly in front of the house there, you see his car take off. And I didn't realize quite how fast he was going when he left. So we're going to watch this, and I think you're going to be very impressed with some of that she's got.
Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. It's been a little more than 2 weeks now since Brian Kohberger was shipped off to a maximum security prison to start serving his 4 consecutive life sentences for the murders of Maddie Mogen, Kaylee Gonsalves, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. And now we are getting a look at just a little bit of the massive amount of evidence still to be released by the Moscow Police Department. Crime scene photos from 1122 King Road have been released to a Boise TV station, KTVB. Law and Crime has actually requested a long list of items from Moscow PD and other agencies and has not yet received a response, but Idaho residents, they get a quicker response to these records requests. KTVB shared these photos that they received, and they show areas inside the home which are blurred and redacted. There are also images of the sliding glass door that Brian Kohberger entered the morning of November 13th, 2022, intent on carrying out murder. The photos also show handprints on the back window of the home, but we don't know who those belong to. Now, the Today Show also shared some of these photos from KTVB. One showed Maddie's boots on the ground. You can also see red Solo cups. The photos show a typical college house that one man destroyed, turning it into a horrific crime scene. For what reason? We still don't know, and whatever reason he gave would never make sense to any of us. The release of the photos came after this photo of Brian Kohberger became public. It shows him shortly after his arrest on December 30th, 2022. Pennsylvania State Police raided his parents' home in Pennsylvania. Kohberger was wearing all black that morning. And now the entire video from the house next door to 1122 King Road has been released. The video from 1112 King Road was recorded from this camera.
Okay, I am going to, at this point, take the speed back to normal so that you hear it all correctly, and then we'll have to speed it up a little bit from here. But listen to this very closely, because if you haven't heard this, it is so very sad. And you can hear Murphy barking.
The house is right next door to where Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan were murdered. At 3:30 a.m., the white Hyundai Elantra pulls onto King Road for the very first time.
Finally, a concealer that understands mature skin. This is creeping into your fine lines and wrinkles and exaggerating them.
And then pulls out a couple of minutes later. Here's a clip from a video put together by the Idaho Statesman. The Idaho Statesman video editors speed up the video by 15 times to show the next time that Kohberger pulls onto King Road at 3:38 a.m. and then leaves King Road at 3:40 a.m.
So he's just doing a drive-by, guys, right here.
Again, this video is speeded up by 15 times, and at 3:46 a.m., the DoorDash driver attempting to deliver food to Xana pulls onto King Road. At 3:51 a.m., the DoorDash driver can be seen walking along the street. In her statement to police, she said she had trouble finding the address. She even used a flashlight to try to find the numbers on the house. She turns around at one point, and you can see her walking back toward 1122 King Road, her flashlight in hand. Then at 3:56 a.m., the white Elantra turns onto King Road again and leaves at 3:58 a.m.
So the DoorDash driver kept him from entering any earlier than what he did, according to this video. Because this is the DoorDash driver leaving after delivering Xana's Jack in the Box. Bobby, thank you for gifting a membership. That is so sweet of you, Bobby. Thank you so much. If you were the person that was gifted, please tell Bobby thank you, because that is so gracious. of her, and welcome to our new member.
Welcome to the South. We break that good stuff out. We got enough to go around. So can I get a break and get down? Welcome to the South.
Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate you. Okay, so guys, here we're fixing to see him turn. He'll come back into the area.
You saw the DoorDash driver left at 4 a.m. Detectives said in a report that Kohberger pulled in behind that driver and pulled out, and they don't believe that she ever saw him. Then at 4:04 a.m., the white Elantra pulls onto King Road again and makes a strange three-point turn.
I guess he was going to see if the DoorDash driver was gone.
Hey, I want to tell you about a free app that I've tried. It's called Upside, and it will give you cash back on things you use every day, like gas, groceries, and takeout. You can transfer after I go to It Works. Download the steps and get or scan that QR cents back on cents back.
Are you researching dental implants?
There's a lot of dental offices that'll talk about doing their teeth in the day process.
And of Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan's lives at the hands of Brian Kohberger. Again, for no reason at all. Brian Kohberger, dressed in all black, carrying a K-bar knife, sneaked into the house on King Road through the sliding glass door. The camera that captured these images also captured sounds believed to have come from Xana's bedroom.
Do you hear Murphy?
The loud thud could have been Xana falling to the ground. Police reports reveal that Xana fought for her life. She had more than 50 stab wounds, many to her arms, hands, and face. She tried to fight off Brian Kohberger. At 4:20, the coward flees the crime scene.
Look how fast he's hauling out. Just watch. Watch behind the house, straight in front. He hauled out of there. How insane. His heart must have been pounding. And just to think that while we're sitting here watching this, all of that was happening. It's just horrible. Heartbreaking.
We now know definitively that that white car that nearly lost control speeding away from the crime scene was driven by Brian Kohberger. For more than 2 years, he denied it was him through his lawyers. But then last month, a sudden change of heart.
With respect to count 1, burglary, felony, how do you plead, Mr. Kohberger, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Prosecutors had planned to use this 3D model of the house on King Road to show jurors the strange layout of the house. The FBI actually built the model. The roof came off, and a witness like Dylan Mortensen would have likely used it to show jurors where her bedroom was located in relation to the others and the kitchen. But now there's no need for the model house.
As to count 2, murder in the first degree, as it relates to the murder of Madison Mogan, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
As to count 3, as it relates to murder in the first degree for the murder of Kaylee Gonzalez, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
As to count 4, the first degree murder of Xana Kernodle, a human being, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
As to count 5, the first degree murder of Ethan Chapin, a human being, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Kohberger has finally admitted to killing the students in cold blood.
You've heard the plea agreement that I talked about today. Do you agree with that plea agreement?
Yes.
And do you understand the nature of the charges that you've been charged with that I understand you're going to plead guilty today to?
Yes.
As I indicated, I'm not bound by the plea agreement, but the plea agreement is for the maximum on each count. Do you understand that I'm not bound by the plea agreement?
Yes.
Has anyone promised you that I would be lenient or easy on you if you pled guilty?
No.
Has anyone threatened you or anyone close to you to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Has anyone, other than the state's agreements with respect to the plea agreement, has anyone promised you anything in exchange for your plea agreement? No.
Don't mix pink salt with lemon and 2 other ingredients if you don't want to donate your entire wardrobe in less than a week.
No.
Has anyone told you to be untruthful in answering my questions today?
No.
Has anyone offered you a reward of any kind other than the plea agreement in order to get you to plead guilty today?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
Before being taken to prison, families of the victims told Kohberger exactly what they thought of him.
I won't stand here and give you what you want. I won't offer you tears. I won't offer you trembling. Disappointments like you thrive on pain, on fear, and on the illusion of power. And I won't feed your beast. Instead, I will call you what you are. Sociopath, psychopath, murderer. I will ask the questions that reverberate violently in my own head, so loudly that I can't think straight most any day. Some of these might be familiar, so sit up straight when I talk to you. How was your life right before you murdered my sisters? Did you prepare for the crime before leaving your apartment? Please detail what you were thinking and feeling at this time. Why did you choose my sister?
Do y'all just see him looking at her? Just sitting casually by. I just don't understand. His lawyers had sadness on their faces. He is just a statue. Hello to everybody coming in. Yeah, just like a creep, huh? It's just disgusting. And to think now he's, after all of this, all of these yes, no's, yes, and sitting there stone-faced, listening to people tell what he has done to their lives. He's now gonna appeal? It's crazy. He is, I think, Neuro. I think he's enjoying all the attention. It's sickening. Absolutely gross.
My sisters. Before making your move, did you approach my sisters? Detail what you were thinking and feeling. Before leaving their home, is there anything else you did? How does it feel to know the only thing you failed more miserably at than being a murderer is trying to be a rapper? Did you recently start shaving or manually pulling out your eyebrows? Why November 13th? Did you truly think your Amazon purchase was untraceable because you used a gift card? How do you find it enjoyable to stargaze with such a severe case of visual snow? Where is the murder weapon? The clothes you wore that night? What did you bring into the house with you? What was the second weapon you used on Kaylee? What were Kaylee's last words? Please describe in detail the level of anxiety you must have felt when you heard the Bearcat pull up to your family home on December 30th, 2022. Which do you regret more? Returning to the crime scene 5 hours later, or never, ever going back to Moscow, not even once, after stalking them there for months? If you were really smart, do you think you'd be here right now? What's it like needing this much attention just to feel real? You're terrified of being ordinary, aren't you? Do you feel anything at all? Or are you exactly what you always feared? Nothing.
I want to bring in Mark Weaver to talk about this new evidence being released. You know, Mark, you've covered a lot of cases. You've dealt with public records, battles, requests. Your first reaction to this video. I know Dateline published part of this video back in May. Now we have the Idaho Statesman getting a hold of this and publishing a longer version of it. Your thoughts as a death penalty prosecutor on watching this video and watching the white Elantra. Brian Kohberger now admits it was me, just circling that crime scene, circling and circling. It's like a vulture circling around prey.
That's a good analogy. I have prosecuted murder cases and I've worked on public records cases, and I've also been the one who has to redact records that get released to the press. So this is an interesting perspective for me to talk about. There's a sinister feeling to watching this. We know what's about to happen, and it does feel like a vulture circling a prey or a shark circling a victim. And, you know, obviously it's late at night. It just makes it feel creepier. And then there was the release of the crime scene photos that some of which were blurred, but we have a real sense of what it looked like outside as he was building up the nerve to commit this crime that he probably had been fantasizing about in his head for days, weeks, or months. And then what it looked like inside to be actually there and know that that's what the crime scene looked like to him, and the last images of his victims.
Okay, guys, I'm going to stop it here. Like I say, go to Long Crime. Definitely finish watching it. It is worth the watch. More than anything on there, I wanted us to watch the video of him pulling in and out, just waiting for that right moment. I honestly, in my heart, believe that if he is going to sit there and take a plea deal, that this man had something to do with these murders. And that's just my opinion. A lot of people have different thoughts on it. There's so much to it. It's crazy. But at the end of the day, there's 4 people that we have been told has passed away in a very horrible way. They believe he got in through the sliding glass door, me and you. And we're fixing to look at some pictures here. Let me get here. Okay, I'm going to share this. Can y'all see these pictures? I want to make sure it shows up before I start doing anything. There we go. Okay. This is, if you look to the far right, you see the car that's parked right there. That is the front part of the home. This is the back part of the home. However, there are more. Hang on. Oh, hang on. I hit the wrong button. Hang tight, guys. Let me get back to the very beginning here, because we're going to see a lot of things. And this is where I want everybody to be prepared for what we're about to look at. Okay, let me get back over here. Let me get it back. Hang tight. Okay. So this is one part of the back of the house. This is on the side of the road that goes beside the home. Okay, now this is Maddie's bedroom. And I will pull it in a little bit. And in just a minute, I'm going to show you why that, because that is where Murphy was, in that room. This is a sliding glass door that was open. They took a picture of it before anyone touched it, supposedly. And let's zoom in. You can see the footprints right here. So there's that. Okay, guys, this is Kaylee's bedroom. We are going to look close right on the door here where you can see the little hand. I hope you can see it. Yeah. Right here is some blood. On the floor, you can see drops of blood here and here, and there's some right in here. Other than that, you don't see much. These are Maddie's boots that she was wearing that night. And we know both girls were here in this bed. This is the stairway that went upstairs. There was not a lot to see here. It just looked like a college stairway. All the beer cans, the cups along the way. This shows their beer pong table. If you've ever played beer pong, you know this. It's a long table. You stack the cups, fill it with beer. You try to make the little ping pong ball into a cup, and the other team has to drink it. And then this is a mattress, trigger warning, that was loaded up, put in a plastic bag. And I don't know if y'all can see, but if you look close enough, you can see the stains on the mattress. This is the handprints. It looks to be as if there's handprints on the outside of the window. It doesn't seem to be in blood. It's just handprints on the window. They did dust all the windows and everything for prints, and this is a pair of handprints that was part of the crime scene photos. Trigger, trigger, trigger warning, because this is Xana's bedroom, guys. This is Xana's bedroom. And it's a little hard to tell, but right here where this hand is, seems to be a handprint on that table. This would be Kaylee's bedroom. The bed that we saw the covers a while ago. At the end of the bed looked nothing like what you see up here. This I want to show you is the sliding glass door that he went into. He parked out front, walked around, went in here. And as you can see, when he went in here, he was on the level of Xana and Dylan. This would be the third level up here with Maddie and Kaylee. Down here was where Bethany was at. Oh, let me go back. This where the bed was against the wall in Xana's room, where Ethan was against the wall. That is what we now know to be his blood coming out. I'm not going to zoom in on that one. This, I will zoom in. This is the chair. This is where they found the dog. If that doesn't break your heart, it's absolutely sad. That poor baby was up under that chair. So very sad. This is the door that led to what we believe is Kaylee's bedroom, and you can see some blood spatter here and a little here. Guys, this picture was taken that day during the daytime. All these smiles, these other two are the other two roommates. Their faces have been blurred out. This was them hours before it all went down. And as you can see, there's the black boots that Maddie had on. And there we go back to the beginning. This is the one that I showed you earlier. And this is the reason this picture was taken, was to show Murphy under the chair. The dog was put inside this bedroom. And that's where, when they opened the door, that is where the dog was. Horribly sad, horribly sad. Now, there is, let me see here. I thought I had a couple more. I'm going through them real quick. Hang tight, because there was another picture that I was going to show, and I don't know where it went. Let me see if I can find it, because it is... Hang tight. No. I thought I had it. Oh, maybe this is it. Okay. Let me get over here. Oh, no, Nancy. Sorry, I had Nancy talking again. Okay, this is the other picture. So very sad, but this is entering into Xana's room. The rooms were not as large as what I thought they were. But that is where Santa is laying in the floor. And here you see the other end of the beer pong table. And if you recall, Hunter, the boy that came in and found what was going on and made the girls leave the room and told them call 911, say there is someone unresponsive. He was walking through the home worried someone was in there, and he had a knife, and he had told law enforcement. Oh, I was trying to go down. Let's see. I'm so sorry, guys. It's not going to work. He laid that knife, and you can see it right beside the beer pong cups, if you can see that. Can you see that right there? If you look beside those cups, you can see where he laid that knife that he had when he realized they were already gone. This is just a few of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pictures from the crime scene that they have. I just couldn't imagine the two girls that lived through the night finding out about their friends the next morning and them having to live every day since. It's absolutely terrorizing to them, I would imagine. They probably have survivor's guilt. They have so much that they're going to have to work through. Their lives, though they survived, will never be the same. They will never have that carefree moment in life again. I don't think. It will take a long time for them. But here we go, waiting to see what this appeal process will be. And it's absolutely the most disgusting thing I could ever imagine the families of these 4 young kids to have to go through. They will live in fear, I believe, yes. I believe every time they look at somebody, they will question. Imagine, Dylan said that she thought she heard someone cry, and then someone spoke up and said, "It's okay. I'm here to help you." She'll probably hear those words. She'll probably see those eyes, those bushy eyebrows for the rest of her life. Yeah, I would too, Rhonda. I wouldn't be able to. I don't know. I couldn't imagine. Just couldn't imagine. As much as the families of those 4 are going through, we have to always remember there are the 2 that are still living in that nightmare. I'm curious to find out if this horrible person actually did this by himself in those 16 minutes. Yes, I just heard about that today. I did, Nicole. Yes. There's 2 other unalivings in 2 other states that they are looking at for the devil's den unaliver. It's absolutely sad. Catfish, they said the judge could reject the motion to appeal. Oh, that's awesome. Let's hope he does. Let's hope he does. Like I said earlier, I've been out of the loop, detached from my phone, other than just recording softball plays and stuff. And today I was like, what is going on? Oh my gosh. So much has gone down. So yeah, we got lots of catching up to do. But we will definitely check into that because wow, that would be something if they could connect to unsolved to him. Guys, I know the photos were not what the family wanted to be put out. Oh, Randa, thank you. I am feeling better. I really am. And this weekend, just being Lolly and my best friend was here. It was just what the doctor ordered. So the world is evil. It really is. There are really some bad people in this world. And unfortunately, we can't just pick them out and, flick them off the earth. We have to be very, very cautious. And so we're going to keep up to date on this. And I really had a back and forth with myself today as to whether to show what I showed. I actually, in my mind, had it way worse than what we actually saw, but we didn't see it all. We didn't see all of it. We have been shown just a little portion of what those young kids succumb to. There's pictures of the bed, there's blurred out spots. The kids themselves were blurred. I do not know what other pictures the news station has. Those were the ones they released. The Idaho news station got them. Other places have requested them, but unless you're in Idaho, it takes like 3 weeks to get them. But if you're in Idaho, you get them within 3 days. And so there's tons and tons of crime scene photos from within that home. And it's just, Rhonda said there are hundreds of raw pics and BK has them all on his cell. Yeah. There's people out there in this world that if they can do what they did, what was done to those 4 kids, they have nothing inside of them. They are an empty, hollow shell of a person, in my opinion. Oh, yeah, TJ, I don't think that will ever happen. I think what's been put out was enough. I mean, there was pictures that I saw of a bathroom, but there was nothing to see in there, just the bathroom. Oh, you're welcome, Rita. I hate it. I hate that that is something that we have to even look at, because the reality is that's what those kids suffered through. That blood came from their body. Yes, the dog did survive. The dog was found up under the little desk behind the chair there. And that's where they found the dog when they opened the door. And at that first glance of that picture of the bedroom, I'm like, okay, this must have been the extra bedroom, that wasn't, nobody was in. And I went on, and then I saw the picture close up of the chair, and I was like, oh my gosh, that poor baby, that dog. And they took the dog from the home. They picked it up, carried it out, and took it to the pound. And her boyfriend had to go and get the dog. And I do not believe there was any blood on the dog, from what I've heard. So I think the dog was put in that room and the door was shut from the very beginning. I think when he came in and saw Xana, because she was up. She had just received her Jack in the Box DoorDash. The bag was in the kitchen on the cabinet. And as he was going to go upstairs, I believe he saw and encountered her. And then went upstairs, because right before we saw the car driving out is when we heard the dog and the screams and things. So it was absolutely horrible. And if you need to go back on replay, watch that video, that surveillance, put in your earbuds, and you can seriously hear things happening. It was a horrible night in Idaho, a horrible night for the world, and a horrific night for their families to have to hear about. And for this man to sit there in a court of law in front of a judge and say no one has made him plead guilty to any of them charges, and to turn around and want to file an appeal. I say giving the harshest punishment there is. Make it worse than he's even getting now. It's horrible. Should not be allowed. But this is the United States of America, and everyone has the right to make an appeal, even though you get a plea deal and sign a paper saying you've given up your right to appeal. You can still appeal. I don't agree with our justice system sometimes, but that's what it is. So we're going to have to just sit tight, pay attention, wait for what's next. And I am so glad to hear he is hearing voices through his air vents calling him a Killer. I am glad that he doesn't get to shower multiple times a day, that he is uncomfortable in his little dwelling. I hope that he suffers just a tiny bit of what he made those kids suffer. Because unless someone takes a knife to him, he will never know their true pain. Guys, I am going to let y'all get off of here. Sorry to come on so late, but hey, it was little man calling, and he requested my presence at his game and got 3 awesome hits. I got to cheer him on, and it was all worth it. But guys, I will be back on tomorrow. We'll be back on probably about 5 o'clock. 5:30 Central-ish, kind of right in there. So y'all be looking for that. But like I say, I'm sorry that we have had that to look up and look at today. I hate that that was even something that was an option for us to look at, but it is. Oh, really, Laura? I haven't listened, or Lauren, sorry. Oh, Laura Arnold. Okay. All those names together real close is just throws me for a loop. She said, if you listen to Reverend Donna, he did Xanon and Ethan first. Okay. Then Maddie and Kaylee interrupted him. He threw her in Maddie's bed. Okay. Okay. That probably is what the deal was. I don't know, guys. It's absolutely sad. Horrible, sad, horrible, sad. But let me get through this week, and hopefully by next week we will start doing lunchtime with Lolly and then do our normal live in the afternoon. So if you got any ideas that you want to talk about during lunchtime, because we can't go too gruesome, okay, because everybody's going to be eating lunch. So I don't want to mess up anybody's appetites. But if you got any ideas, y'all let me know, and we'll definitely talk about it. But thank you all for being here. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for caring about these kids and what is going on and what has happened to them. It's their story to be told. And unfortunately, the person who is taking the spotlight right now is the one that should not have no light shined on him at all, ever again. So, anyways, guys, y'all have a super great night. Get y'all some rest. Have a really good day tomorrow, and I will see y'all then. Until then, love and hugs, everybody. Good night.